drawing your OCs again. This first OC here is from 𝐏𝐫𝐴60. I butchered that name, but I think that's sort of how it's pronounced. Anyway, it's a commission from them. Thank you so much for commissioning me. Anyone who's ever commissioned me, it really supports my channel, and I just can't even say how much it means to me when you guys commission me and stuff like that. So really, thank you so much. And they have a bio for this character. I'm going to guess the name of the character is pronounced Dior. Dior? I'm not entirely sure because that's how the word is pronounced, but it's spelled D-I-O-R. I'm just gonna go with that. If I messed it up, I'm really sorry. Dior is a cross-dresser and has been since a young age, to the point where he is more comfortable wearing girls' clothes than boys. He usually doesn't correct people when they mistake him for a girl to avoid awkward conversations that would follow. Okay, that's relatable. Yeah, awkward conversations, you can avoid that. Just, it's honestly a better. Let's see, because he was scorned for being a faunus. So this is, by the way, a ruby OC, as you probably guessed from the faunus. A faunus is a person who has like animal traits, like ears, like cat ears, like this one, or maybe it has like a monkey tail, or maybe something like that, or bunny ears, stuff like that. That's what a faunus is. Let's see. He learned to hide his emotions behind sarcasm, wit, and humor. When trying to have normal conversation, though, he is very shy and has trouble making a lot of friends. He decided to become a huntsman to fight Grimm, to show the world he is not worthless. That's really cool. What I like about this character the most is that this character is like so different and so like non-conventional, where it's just like, instead of being what everyone expects an OC to be, like instead of being like, oh, it's a guy, so it has to be this. Oh, it's a girl, it has to be this. You know what I mean? It's like so different from what you would expect it. Like if someone told you they're making a ruby OC and it was a guy and it was a faunus, the first thing you think of is not even close to what this is. This one is like a cross-dressing guy who just likes wearing girls' clothes, but then doesn't correct anyone that he's actually a guy, but he doesn't really care that if they know or not. So it's like interesting. It's more like a, he just doesn't want to bring it up. So it just doesn't matter to him, which I think is really neat and is really unique to me. Normally when people have characters that are mistaken as the different genders or something like that, normally the character is trying to hide it, like doesn't want people to know. Or maybe the character actually is like into disguise, you know, stuff like that. But this character isn't like that. This character feels more like a chill, shy sort of character, and I just think that's really cool. By the way, that jacket, I really love their design of this. I had to draw it 100% from text, like a text description, which is very difficult, so I hope it came out okay. They said they had a baggy jacket that their father gave them because they assumed they would grow a little taller and a little more buffy, but they never actually grew that tall, so the jacket's very oversized, and I think that's super cool, and it's really adorable to have like that baggy clothing. Next up is an OC from Distance on the Amino. They actually won a contest. So for you guys always hearing about these contests, there's a contest up on the Amino which let you win free OC drawings instead of having to buy them, and they're pretty much like the raffles. Like there's weekly contests, but then there's monthly contests. So there's 2 contests going at all times, and I hope you guys will join those because it's pretty much like the raffle was, but now it's more interactive and fun like that. They have bio. I'm going to read it for you. The name of this OC is Hector, age 18, gender male, species demon, siren. So it's half demon, half siren. That's interesting. Here's their bio. A boy who goes by the name Hector. I've actually never read this bio, so I have no idea what it's going to say. He was born in late July and has a pessimistic look at life. He enjoys dry comedy, same, tea and cookies, though his character does suffer from depression due to seeing his family abandon him. Oh, that's sad. He does not go to school, but lives in Mexico, usually hanging out around water and other spots. He has 2 forms, one a mermaid, goldfish, koi, so it's half goldfish, or it's a goldfish kind of koi-ish fish, I don't know, but that's what the mermaid tail looks like, I guess. And his usual more human form. This is his human form, I guess. The more human, but still has fish ears. Despite being oftentimes solo, he is quiet and enjoys romance secretly, writing his own romance novel. Oh, that's so cute! That's so cute and endearing. I love the idea of when they give a character that's like, normally when they're like more guy characters, I guess people don't give them soft sides, but I love it when they give them like more of a soft side and they don't have to be so like tough. And tough characters can be great in their own sense. They can be super great. it's just, I like seeing things that are usually out of the norm. Like when I'm watching anime or I'm watching anything, normally the characters that I fall in love with are the ones that are just so strange or just so different from what you normally see. Like when you're watching a show or something, you expect to have that main lead guy character who doesn't really have a personality, and then you have this side female character who's really there just to be pretty, I guess, and then the guy falls in love with the girl, and it's really generic, you know what I mean? But I like it when the characters are just so unique and so different, and it's just not what you expect it to be, because my biggest pet peeve is bad romances and stuff like that in movies. So I've always been really like critical of writing and characters like that. So whenever I see a character that's more unique and more different and doesn't always revolve around 100% just a terrible romance or a crazy action scenes 24/7, you know, like that, that's why I'm obsessed with cool characters like this that are so unique. And drawing your OCs makes me realize you guys are just like really good writers. If you actually wrote something, I mean, they'd be really good. Next up is BenPlus on Twitter. His name isn't actually BenPlus on Twitter, it's like something else, but his like name on top is BenPlus, but his actual link isn't BenPlus. So I'll put a link down in the description. But their OC here, I was struggling with this OC. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to make it look older because it says they have a job, or if I was supposed to make them look younger. So I kind of got into this awkward in between that doesn't look right at all. But their name is Dorothy, and I'm going to read their bio. So their name's Dorothy Farley, actually. Here's their little bio here. It's kind of blurry. Hopefully I can read that. An optimistic waitress. See, they said waitress, so I was like, it has to be older. But then I made them look kind of youngish anyway. I don't know. It's confusing. With a quirky attitude and an even quirkier appearance. Dorothy is reluctant to talk about her past, only offhandedly mentioning her father and her family's seemingly frivolous lifestyle. She is absurdly persistent in being Laura's partner in her investigations and often finds herself being scolded or ignored because of it. And I know he mentioned that it was kind of like a detective character, so I'm guessing this is kind of like a detective story, which is interesting because I'm obsessed with detective novels at the moment. Even if, like, I enjoy fantasy detective stuff as long as they don't, like, try and make it realistic too much. Because I remember I loved fantasy detective work stuff because I used to follow, I don't remember what the book was called, but it was one that was, like, very fantasy but still detective, and it was still grounded, and it was so much fun to read. But I loved also the realistic ones that followed like very realistic standards and all that. But it was interesting because that's what I like about detective stuff, is they ground the world and they just give you, you know, they give you like a world that's grounded rather than a world that's anything can happen. Like a good example is Doctor Who. Doctor Who is the kind of thing where anything can happen. Like there's nothing grounded, so it didn't feel like real detective work because anything could happen and you wouldn't feel like you had any idea it would happen. But a good detective story would make you feel like, oh man, I should have known that was gonna happen, because they gave you all the hint ahead of time. Like they should have pretty much hinted to the idea that they were the bad guy before you even got to that point. So that's the thing, it's like you have to turn the reader into a detective, and I think that's so cool, and it's such a hard thing to write. So I would be surprised to know more about this story, or excited to know more about this story, because like I said, I love detective stuff and I always think it's very interesting. I don't know if he's actually writing a story for it or it's just OCs and it's just a story like idea he's come up with. No idea, but he actually won the weekly contest that was redrawing a drawing of mine, and that was a lot of fun. Like I said, contests we're having all the time, and there's only 3 OCs this video, and that's why there are a lot of Amino contest winners and stuff like that, is because those were the ones I had to get through real quick. And I couldn't pick a random one from the YouTube comments this week, though I will next time. So make sure to leave your YouTube comments and let me know what OC you would like to have drawn. Just leave a link there, and I will be sure to check them all out and make sure to pick out my favorites because I love picking out random ones. But anyway, I hope you guys like this video, and like I said, leave a comment down in the comments with your OC, and you can also post on Instagram or Deviant using #FlyingPings, or you can commission me. The link is down in the description, and I thank you so much to anyone who commissioned me. It really means so much to me. Thank you guys so much for watching.